Welcome. In this video, we'll go through how to record assets in Finbit. So let's get started. Alright, let's start by recording an inventory asset for GreenGrow Agri-Supplies. This will help keep track of stock like fertilizers, seeds, and pesticides. On the home page, tap on the menu, that's the 3 bars in the top left corner. From there, select Setup. Now tap on Asset Create, and then press the plus button to add a new asset. Now let's enter the details together. For the name, I'll type in Agricultural Inputs Inventory. Done. Next is quantity. This refers to the number of items being recorded. Since this includes fertilizers, seeds, and pesticides, I'll enter 1,000 units. Great. For amount, we'll estimate the total value. Let's say it's $5,000. I'll type that in now. Perfect. Now, let's select the asset type. Since this is stock we're keeping for business, I'll choose inventory. And that's set. Next, main use. This is to specify whether the asset is for business or personal use. I'll tap business. There we go. Possession type. This tells us whether the asset is owned, rented, or acquired through a loan. Since this inventory is owned, I'll select own. Done. For use rate, we estimate how much of this asset is actively in use. Since most of the stock will be sold or used soon, I'll select 90% plus. That's set. Next, the date acquired. This is optional, but it's always good to track when assets were added. Let's say this stock was acquired on March 1st, 2024. Entering that now. Now for the description. This is useful for adding more details about the asset. I'll type, stock includes maize seeds, organic fertilizers, and pesticides for resale. If needed, we can also attach a photo. If you have an image of the inventory, you can upload it here. I'll skip this for now, but if you want, just tap Attach Photo and select an image from your phone. Alright, that's everything filled in. Now I'll press Save, and just like that, the inventory is recorded in Finbit. Keeping inventory records up to date helps in tracking stock levels and managing finances efficiently. Now that this asset is recorded, let's move on to recording a delivery truck for EP Harvest Foods Limited. Now let's record another asset, this time a delivery truck for EP Harvest Foods Limited. Alright, let's get started. From the Asset Create page, I'll press the plus button to add a new asset. For the name, I'll type Delivery Truck. Done. Next is quantity. Since this is just one truck, I'll enter 1. Great. Now for the amount. Let's say the estimated value of this truck is $18,000. I'll type that in. Perfect. Moving on to asset type. Since this is a vehicle, I'll tap Vehicle from the drop-down list, and that's selected. For main use, this truck is strictly for business, so I'll choose business. Done. Now for possession type. This truck was purchased outright, so I'll select own. That's set. However, if an asset like a vehicle is financed through a loan, don't forget to record it under Setup, Loan Taken in Finbit. This helps keep track of repayments and gives a complete picture of business finances. Next, we have use rate. This helps estimate how much the asset is used. Since this truck is used almost daily for deliveries, I'll choose 90% plus. Great. For date acquired, let's say the truck was purchased on January 10th, 2024. I'll type that in. Good. Now for the description. I'll type Toyota Hilux truck used for transporting processed food products. There's also an option to attach a photo. If you have one, you can upload it here for reference. I'll skip this step, but if you want to add a photo, just tap Attach Photo and select an image. Alright, everything is filled in. Now I'll press Save, and the truck is now recorded in Finbit. Now, let's move on to our final example. Back on the Asset Create page, I'll press the plus button to start a new entry. First, the name. I'll type Dairy Processing Machine. Done. For quantity, since this is a single machine, I'll enter 1. Good. Now for the amount. Let's say the machine is valued at $25,000. I'll type that in. Perfect. Next, asset type. Since this is a piece of equipment used for processing dairy products, I'll choose machinery from the drop-down list. Selected. For main use, this machine is strictly for business, so I'll tap business. That's set. Now, possession type. Since this machine was purchased outright, I'll choose own. Done. For use rate, this machine is in operation most of the time, so I'll select 90%. Great. Now for date acquired. This is optional, but I'll enter February 15, 2023 to keep track of when it was purchased. Entering that now. Next, the description. I'll type milk pasteurization machine used for processing dairy products. There's an option to attach a photo. If you have a picture of the machine, you can upload it here. Everything looks good, so I'll press Save, and the dairy processing machine is now recorded in Finbit. Recording assets properly helps in tracking depreciation, planning for future upgrades, and managing finances more effectively. Now that we've recorded 3 different assets, you can try adding your own business or household assets in Finbit. In our next video, we'll go over how to set up employees or workers in your business. See you there.